Hey guys, welcome back. Really excited here because we have our wonderful devs and dev and community manager.
Yeah.
We'll give you your own title.
All right, it's fair. I do some dev work here and there.
All right, wonderful devs from Tripwire. Can you please state your name and tell us what you do for the company?
As you said, I'm Jared Creasy, and I'm the community manager for Tripwire and all the games that we do.
Very nice. So what does a game director do? What is your role and responsibility? Got it. Herding cats.
He has a lot of people who herd cats, and then they also have to come back and go, Bill, you can't do that, and they have to herd him.
Yes, regardless, though, of where I am, we need to get back to
So we love Killing Floor. We play it a lot. Actually, as a community, I know a lot of my community members play it. It's a phenomenal game. But you guys have announced the Summerside show released Tuesday.
Yep.
So what's different compared to last year? Well, first of all, let me back up. What is Summerside show? Crazy concept.
Last.
Oh, it's, yeah, because we're fighting a band.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can hear me,
Yes,
right? Okay.
we're good.
Okay. Hopefully the crowd can hear me. Yeah, so, it's a special seasonal event that we bring once a year, and we brought it first last year for the first time, and now we're bringing it back this time. And we're really excited because this time we're merging Circus Freaks with Steampunk.
Got it.
And any fan from Killing Floor 1, when we did the Summer Sideshow way back in the day, we had objective mode with Ringmaster Lockhart, and we're actually continuing that story in this one.
Yeah, we have what we're calling objective survival. It's not the full-on objective mode quite yet, and we haven't announced one yet.
But we're working our way.
Understandable.
We're dipping our toes, you know.
It's good, put some toes in the water.
Some things have been worked on that, may one day all come together as a magical little new experience. But yeah, we're returning to, as KF1's objective mode started, to Ringmaster Lockhart. You helped him escape into his airship, and now he's on his airship, and somehow the threat has followed, and somehow you found yourselves on board.
Crazy concept how that works out
I know,
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense, right?
It
does.
just happened. Don't ask.
Yep. And obviously all the Circus Freaks are back. We've also added 3 new weapons.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We've got the quad barrel shotgun, which we call the Doomstick.
Like I said,
I love that.
4 barrels are better than 2, right?
Yeah.
powering up the ship's system.
And we also have the Static Strikers, which are like these crazy gauntlet gloves
What?
that
Okay.
are,
You
you really
use
feel
as a
like you're
melee?
boxing a guy. Oh yeah,
Very
very
nice.
hardcore melee. And the interesting thing about those weapons is they're really, really powerful for any one-on-one target.
Okay.
So you can box with a Scrake or a Flesh Pound. But the Horde, you got to be a little bit more careful because you got to get them so close with them.
Okay. So you could get surrounded through that.
It's very easy to get surrounded with that weapon.
So tell me about this pistol that we're looking at right now.
This is the HX-25. Oh, go ahead, dude.
All right, it's the HX-25. It's the starter weapon for the demo. I'm actually just using it to earn a little dosh and get through the first few waves. But I might just cheat here in a minute and get to some of the newer weapons and show them off.
Can't hurt.
Yeah. You probably should just cheat.
I will. As soon as this
new
round's
shiny
done,
things.
I will give myself some money and we will continue on our journey of weapon exploration.
Those little dev secrets.
Yeah. Anybody can do it. You just have to just enable cheats in console.
Then you lose achievements.
You do lose achievements that way.
Love the airship map. A lot of detail in the steampunk look. So let's talk about that. Why steampunk?
Oh, well, that's what we had brought back in Killing Floor 1 or from a really long time ago. And we just thought that was like a really interesting mix, like just visually. I think, when you hear Circus Freaks and Steampunk, it doesn't sound like it would work, but it does in a weird way. I don't know. Especially with the style of the clowns and everything like that.
Yeah.
We just thought visually it's a very interesting concept.
It's almost like opposites attract in that sense of design. It shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no thanks to you people.
If people are listening on the stream, you get to hear Lockhart guiding you through what's happening, yelling at you to run around and fix some things.
Instead of the traitor.
Yeah, if you get to those optional objectives, he's more happy.
Yeah. Well, there's always things breaking down in the ship, so you got to help him fix it up.
Oh, okay. So the mini objectives. I know there was some of that in the winter.
Yep.
I forget what it is. The Winter Fest that you guys had, where you had to stand in the objective at some point in time and keep all of the Zeds out.
Yep, to stand your ground.
Thank you. I'm just, day 3.
Oh, yeah.
Day 3. So what are some of the objective modes that we might see in this one? Oh, those look amazing.
They're our first true fisticuff weapon, these static strikers. So I turned on God mode because I'm not the best berserker, so I'll do really good.
I wouldn't have noticed. So do you still want to go with headshots for these, or do you just
yeah, I mean,
melee everything?
You melee. I mean, you can do the heart attacks, smash on top of the head. And there's definitely some really nice combos. If you hit left or right while hitting the heart attack, you'll do really strong hook attacks. So you can hit multiple targets.
Got it.
Then we have the new EDARs.
Those are crazy inventions of Lockhart that have been reprogrammed, and now they're trying to kill you as well.
That's, it happens. It's a typical Wednesday. Thursday. I don't know what today is.
It's a day. It ends in Y, I
day.
think.
Did you cheat and put God mode on?
I did.
Oh, man.
I'm not good at Berserker. I'm not going to lie.
So if anybody in chat has any questions, feel free to ask them. Just at Alienware, it makes it a little bit easier for me to pull them out. But what is one of your favorite things that you guys were able to bring into Summer Sideshow?
Well, I mean, there's a couple ones. I mean, one of them definitely is the introduction of bringing back Mrs. Foster, which was a fan favorite. And in Killing Floor 2, we fully voice all of our playable characters.
Yes.
So finding someone to do that, and we were fortunate enough to get Claudia Black to voice Mrs. Foster.
Amazing.
So really excited about that, and I'm really happy how the character, the direction, and the script, it's really good, it's really funny. And then, we also, we're bringing back the Prestige system.
Oh.
So now when you fully level up, you can choose to Prestige reset and you get a special skin.
I was going to say, do you get anything for
Yep,
that?
and you get a Vault Dash reward
Oh.
of a couple million Vault Dash.
Oh.
So yes, it helps players get those Vault Dash rewards a little bit quicker.
That's very nice.
And the thing that we've also done is we've made it so that when you're leveling up, if you Prestige reset, you'll level up faster the second time through.
So it's not as much of a
slow,
grind.
yeah,
So can you Prestige more than once?
Maybe in the future.
Okay.
This update you're limited to just once, but there's a good chance, especially for those who like to look at our SDK and find some of that art that's already in game, that we are prepared for more.
Going for the good old Doomstick.
I'm going to buy the Doomstick this round.
Very nice.
Going to upgrade it, make it tier 5.
So upgrading. Let's talk about that. That's new since, the last couple patches, I think.
No, it just came out just this release, actually.
Oh, okay.
Upgraded.
I don't know why I thought this has been out. So
what's a cool thing? Yeah, so Killing Floor has 73 weapons now. Actually,
crazy.
Some people think that's not enough.
Well, all in due time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, each update we're constantly adding more, so they will only keep growing. But yeah, the weapon upgrade system, the cool thing about that is, generally each class, people have a kind of like, okay, here's the established loadout that you use.
Yeah.
If you don't use this loadout, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And we wanted to add more variation into the gameplay, more creativity on, making
Instead
a different
of the
loadout
same loadout.
that can cater to kind of like your style of play,
Nice.
or say there's a certain weapon that you really like.
Okay.
So now you can put your dash that you earned from killing the creatures, the Zeds, into upgrading your weapon if you choose so. So instead of necessarily like, okay, I'm in a later wave, I'm going to get my tier 3 or tier 4 weapon, I can take my tier 1 and 2 and put money into that to upgrade it to make it better.
Very nice.
So, and there are trade-offs to doing that. So
Okay.
every time you upgrade, the weight increases by 1. So there are some weapons that you can make them really powerful, but then you might not be able to carry another thing that you wanted.
Got it. Okay.
So there's a lot of creativity and exploration as far as your loadout and your classes, like exactly how you're going
like
to
that. Okay.
check it out.
And we've got a bit more in store for the system as well. That this first iteration, it's all about mostly, as Bill said, the power goes up on the weapons, and the drawback to that one is the weight.
Okay.
But we're also looking at doing some other things, like maybe mag size increases, as well as different penetration, incapabilities, and making it a bit more interesting as well for different weapons to help them feel more distinct. So that's something we're working towards for a future update.
Very nice.
So players,
Yeah, I mean,
Something you're not done with yet.
it's not done with yet.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I don't think anything on Killing Floor is ever done. Like,
No.
you know, we just constantly keep adding, iterating to it, you know. I thought, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, right now we do have, you know, some of our really hardcore fans. They don't like the upgrade system at the moment, and we
okay.
have other people that do really like it. So we're definitely listening to the feedback and getting it, you know. And, we're just trying to gauge what is the, you know, knee-jerk reaction. Some people, you know, it's like they need to actually really play it to see, you know,
Yeah.
what they really think of it. But yeah, we're really listening to the feedback, and obviously we're adding it to make the game better and working towards that.
Somebody asked, does Yoshiro still call the medic and berserker war profiteers?
I absolutely do. They are absolutely war profiteers, though Berserker's a little less so these days. But yeah, that combination is still a bit OP and a bit war profiteering.
Somebody says that those enemies look awesome.
Thank you.
Are you going to get Halloween Zeds this year?
We don't have anything official to announce, but we are very, very excited for this Halloween.
And
we have something really big coming out
Very nice.
that we
But
have not
nothing
done
official.
before.
but we don't have anything to announce.
Well, nothing. Yeah, nothing
So
like
you should-
specific.
yeah, we're excited, but there's no reason you should be excited.
No.
None at all.
Yeah, I will put it this way. You know, we've always done really awesome. You know, for summer,
Yes.
Circus Freaks. We've done some for Christmas with the twisted
love
Christmas sets.
Christmas.
We want to make Halloween like as big
That's
as,
your
if not
holiday.
bigger.
Seems
So
like your holiday.
yeah,
I don't know, just, you know, bystander's opinion.
It feels like something where KF should have something.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
We've had many people been working on it all year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing that we,
Nothing that, you know, we're
No.
because
That's so awesome, though.
it takes a while for some of this work to get done. Like some things that players are seeing this year started work last year, and we're always excited when something new comes out. We're always thankful to get player feedback and then be able to iterate and keep working on things and making them better.
Yeah, and we are really happy because when we came out in early access in 2015, our player base is actually bigger now than it was back then. So,
Oh my god.
you know, the game's growing,
Yeah.
and you know, we're
I
putting
see
a
more
lot of
people playing
resources
this.
into it, just constantly making it a better product.
And I think it shows, especially with how active you guys are on social media. You guys have done live streams in the past in terms of talking to the community and letting them know, you know, hey, we're listening to your feedback. We care about what you're saying. And, you know, you might not like this, but here's why we decided to do X, Y, Z.
Yep.
And that's really nice and unique. And you guys are always such a pleasure to talk to and easy to work with. So.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, that's one of the challenges of whenever you have a game that you're constantly updating.
Yeah.
You know, it's always that fine line where people want new things,
They don't like
but
change.
you
Yes.
don't exactly. So,
Yep.
you know, it's
And while some may accuse us of having no rhyme or reason for changes, there tends to be a rhyme and possibly a reason behind most changes. And just when we may need help getting some of that messaging out there, and that's why we always like to do streams and do our community posts, and just pay attention because we're usually always answering those questions when asked.
Very nice.
yeah, we are really excited too. We actually have a dedicated live stream room in our new studio.
Okay, so I did know about that, but I didn't want to mention it because I didn't know if you guys had talked about it yet.
We've hinted that it exists. We were actually hoping to make use of it this week for the first time,
Yeah.
but just some technical tests we wanted to run and get done didn't happen in time. So we've held off for now, but it will likely have its first stream sometime in the coming days.
Very
We weren't trying
nice.
to. Were we supposed to keep that secret? Or what?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm not the one
Yeah.
that broke the
No, I
embargo,
did, yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I'm not getting anybody in trouble now, so it's not my fault.
I know who it was, Zane.
So, yeah.
So somebody said, "Don't screw up, Yushiro. Everyone back home is watching you."
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm cheating.
He's got
so
God mode
Yeah.
on, so I don't think he.
I can't screw up.
Stop
It's the
cheating,
best.
play fair.
Yeah.
All right, hold on,
What?
hold on. I'll make it easier. I'll turn God mode off.
Okay.
I'll turn demigod mode on.
Why don't you put it on Hell on Earth and show everyone how good you are?
Hell on Earth, why? I do play HOE. I do need my 6-man team.
Yeah.
It definitely helps in terms of damage.
Yes.
So someone asked, will there be any new weekly outbreaks in the near
All
future?
sorts of aeronautical stuff beyond your pay grade.
We're
And to do
definitely
that,
looking into that. Right now, it's just a balance of all the things that we're trying to actually get into and update.
Well, you know, you have a whole summer thing kind of going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if
to-
that's something that the community really wants, we will definitely look at adding more of that.
Cool.
I know the design team has several things on their, hey, we'd like to do this list when it comes to weekly outbreaks, and we've been keeping an eye on what players are sort of asking for on that front. There's been quite a few good threads on that. So definitely make sure to keep participating in those threads because they are being noticed and they are useful.
So
But-
you're probably tallying how much you hear of like one or the other.
Yeah. So while, like Bill said, maybe not something in the very near future, but it is something that is being looked at.
With new objectives being added to the normal game mode, will we be seeing further objectives tied into the hold-down mode, making story-driven maps?
We
Have nothing to announce.
but we're definitely looking into that. I
Okay.
think that's an area that has a lot of traction. A lot of people would like to see. So
That'd be kind of neat.
it's definitely it's a whiles away, but we are putting resources into
Oh, okay. So
trying
you're
to-
actually like starting to kind of put together. the
Yeah, I mean
team for
we've
that.
been slowly doing that. Like if you saw like in the in this event, for instance, like Lockhart, he's talking to you, he's telling
Yeah.
a story. Even though the objectives are optional in there, it's we're just kind of slowly adding all the little elements we need to do a full-fledged kind of
Very
objective story mode.
And I know there is lore, depending on if you listen to, some things, as well as there's writing on the wall, and there's little things, but that'd be really neat to actually have like a story kind of mode to it. I just wanted to say I love the new Doomstick, and I've already leveled up my Prestige support perk to 22 within 2 days.
Awesome.
That's what we love to hear.
Thank you.
I might have missed it, but are the upgrades on the new upgrade system a permanent thing, or just during that game mode? Or match?
Just during that match.
Okay.
Just during that match.
Yeah, pretty much we added one new tier of weapon, tier 5, which is where the M99 starts.
Okay.
And then almost every other weapon in the game can be brought through tiers 1 through 5.
Got it. I still remember a demo Yoshiro did for me at New York Comic Con where he got fucked by guessing the trader location. It was wrong and had to go into a wave with very little ammo and no armor.
I've done that before.
Thank you for
See, even with
We've all done
demigod
it.
mode on, I survived that round.
I was afraid he might
Wow,
cut
that's
into our
impressive.
profits.
Well, I didn't go down to 1, which would have been what demigod allows for. Even when I cheat, I do good.
Close.
You are probably the best cheater I know.
Or in the
Are-
case of armor,
So this,
keeping
yes,
the
this
man
is the Summer
alive.
Sideshow event. We need more lore in Killing Floor 2. There's nothing at all at the moment. That's what somebody else is
Well,
saying.
that's great feedback, and we'll look at trying to keep adding to that. I do agree with that.
I know because I've asked a lot of questions, but maybe that's just my knowledge. So weapon skins, how does that work?
Best feature on the airship.
Just what?
You can pull the air horn.
Can you really?
Yeah. It's on a little bit of cooldown, so I have to wait like 30 seconds, but best feature.
You don't want to wear out the air
You
horn.
in the atrium to flush the
There we
So
go.
the how do the weapon skins work?
I
Well,
assume it's just literally the question is just weapon skins.
so I mean, we have multiple different ways that we can acquire weapon skins. There are random drops that will occur. You can also get weapon skins when you prestige reset.
Got it.
Also, whenever you do the weekly objectives or your daily objectives, you earn Vault Dash. And then that, every time you hit 500,000 vault dodge, you then get a crate that you can open. It's totally free. That has different skins in it. Those are like its own type of skins.
Got it.
And then we also have crates that can randomly drop.
Oh, that's right.
That you can purchase a key to get. But all of our skins are completely cosmetic.
Got it. It's not pay to win. It's pay to look pretty.
Exactly.
To help support you guys, for future endeavors.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that's really important to us is that with all of our updates, everything that's actually the gameplay and what you're really doing in the game, all that stuff's provided free.
Nice.
And then, people who want to support us and want to see that happen more and more, that's just a way that they can help us make that happen, so we can keep all these things free.
It's been pretty much Tripwire policy since our early days to not split our communities and to keep as much free as possible, while at the same time making sure that we're able to keep adding to the game and keep adding new things, because we know players love, they love playing their favorite games, be they our games or somebody else's games, and they always are looking for something more. But also nothing changes.
Yeah, and speaking about community things, one thing that we started this year, which I think's worked really well, is basically it's a community top pick, and we let the community, we give them a series, because there's community always randomly hits us up and like, oh, we really want this weapon. Why do you add this weapon? And we can only add so many weapons at one time, so we decided, okay, let's make a voting pool. We'll take the top weapons.
Sorry.
And we'll let the community, vote for which weapon they want. So the M99 was actually the one that won in our last voting.
Got it.
No, technically, the last voting, the FNFL one. Or am I not supposed to say that?
No. Did we? No, we announced the FNFL. No, we didn't.
We just did it right now.
Yeah, but that's for the Halloween update.
All right, guys, there you go. What update?
Huh? The Halloween update.
What update?
Oh, don't try to even throw this on me. Well, anyway, so...
Zane, this is not my fault.
This is Jared's fault.
This is Zane's fault, everybody. He said it was public information. He lied to me.
Speaking of, let's go to the next question. Will there ever be will we ever see the original maps reimagined for Killing Floor 2? Maybe something like showing West London after the events of the first game.
No point in saving.
Well, West London was pretty messed up by the time we saw it in the first game. We know that players have been asking for some old favorites to come back. It's something we've continued to think about, but haven't acted on yet. If that's something that our player base really wants, it is likely we will revisit some.
So that's actually a good segue. How did they let you know that that's something that they really want?
There are many ways to do this. Every once in a while we do polls, like on the favorite weapon poll, but we're always on our Discord, we're always in our forums. While we may not post everywhere, we're trying to read almost every bit of information that goes through there, be it feedback, be it critique, be it, and we always love these, the, hey, I love your game, hey, your game let me, me and my new best friend, meet, and every once in a while you can get a nice little heartfelt story, and we're always trying to share those with the team, because video games are not always the most fun thing to do.
Well, how about we do this, Jared? So our next poll that we do, we'll add in the question to see if they want to see
some remakes?
the classic maps come
There you
back.
go. See? We ask questions and we help you out. That is terrifying.
Yeah, that's the Abomination as envisioned by Pukey the Clown.
Okay.
With his little poop monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I think he's, there he is.
I'll keep going through the questions. Where are the next challenges? So I think we kind of answered this because of Summerside Show. You guys are taking a little bit of a break on that right now. Is that correct?
As in challenges, do they make like the weekly outbreaks?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, right now, with everything we got staggered with the major events that we have, it's been really hard to get the extra time in to get additional new weeklies. Yeah. And since they cycle, it's like once a week, it's a little bit harder for that to get repetitive. But I know that it is something that we need to get, we need to get some new ones in there, and I know a lot of people will find that exciting.
And it's on the list.
It's on the list.
We've accomplished that, so not to worry. It's definitely on the list. You have to remember, this Summerside Show released on Tuesday.
Yes. Yep.
So, they got to support it, and then they'll go to the next thing on the list. Yes, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the crazy thing is we have to be so ahead of production of what we do to just keep it so it can come out on all the platforms and everything. So we're actually like we don't even have any time for a break. We're already knee deep into the Halloween event currently right now. And
What? The what?
Halloween update.
Halloween update.
No event. Nothing to announce.
Nope.
And we
nothing to announce.
actually have some people working on 2019 content as well.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, but that's they should give at least the community the idea that, you know, this is something you support, this is something you love, you think about the future. You know, you're not just reactive, you're trying to be proactive in that sense of content at least.
Yeah, with the new content, and then with feedback, modifying things.
Is it possible to make your own map? I believe this is a yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Very much so.
Our modding community is very, very healthy. There's so many maps that come out.
Check them out in the workshop.
One of the community-made maps made it into the official update for the Summerside show.
Oh, which one made it?
Lockdown. So we're
Very
always on the
nice.
lookout for cool, awesome maps by the community. And if it's something that's getting played, if it's something that runs well, you know, we're keeping our eyes out.
We've even done mapping contests in the past.
Oh,
and,
cool.
that could possibly happen again in the near future.
Very nice.
Just-
Let me see what else. Are there any news on the possibility of a new perk?
A new perk. I mean, we have stuff kind of on paper, but not anytime soon would there be another additional perk.
To sort of flesh that out a bit more, as Bill said, there are several ideas currently on paper.
Okay.
A couple different things, because if we want a new perk, we want it to be a bit more different than our current lineup.
Got it.
And it
That's
actually takes
challenging.
quite a bit to come up with totally new mechanics, which to help it make it really shine.
Got it.
So, and then we also want to make sure that, hey, just because it sounded good in our heads, does it play out well? So,
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think before we make a new perk, we need to fix up the survivalist perk.
That was actually another
So,
question.
I
That was
will
another
do
question.
that.
that's been on the list for a while.
Yeah.
Is there a rework plan?
Well, I'll say this: I have a new design.
Got it.
It's just finding the resources
And time.
resources, time, and budget to actually get it in with all the big other initiatives we have. That's
Yeah.
always the hardest balancing act. You know,
Yeah.
we'll have all these different components, but only so many of them can
At
get
one
fit
time.
in,
Got it.
and depending on how it pans out, and yeah.
Let me see what else. Do you think you would add a Gatlin shotgun into the game? Gatlin shotgun.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that weapon.
Where's that?
Master.
So, not Gatling gun, but Gatling shotgun?
Yeah, shotgun.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and almost anything's possible. If I
Yeah.
remember our current list of weapons we want to do, it's something like 150 weapons.
Oh crap.
And then, as Bill said, we occasionally ask the community, hey, which one do you guys want to see? Sometimes it's one that's on our list that just comes forward. Sometimes it's all new, and then we have to think about, okay, how can we make this work?
Okay.
So,
Very nice.
I'll have to, if that person could respond in a little more detail, I'm very
How do you
curious to
think
know
that
what
that
it,
would work?
well, what is it? Is
Yeah.
if I look it up, Gatling shotgun, am I going to know what that is?
I could maybe look that up.
lockdown. There's our other map. Let me find it.
Oh, it's a thing.
Oh shit!
It's a real, actual thing.
That is a thing.
It's a day.
All
I
right,
learned.
So yeah, there's. I'll put it this way to you. This will go into one of our games one day. A Gatling shotgun. I'm actually going to put this down on my phone right now so I don't forget. I actually have a random note thing. So
Sure, yeah.
whenever there's a random idea or I bump into somebody, like, hey, what
You
about
should do this. Yeah.
Gatling shotgun.
Mountain Pass was an absolute favorite of the classic maps, and while you might not want to bring it back, it would be cool to make a map similar in terms of the wide openness and eerie serenity.
The guy who made that map was a modder, and he works for Tripwire now. Pro tip.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Kevin is one of our senior LDs at Tripwire, and he started life as a Red Orchestra modder.
Oh, that's so cool. Funny. You put passion and time into a project.
Yes, to add to the, hey, can we make maps in the game? Not only can you make maps, it's also one of the best ways to get a job with Tripwire. I believe actually most of our current level design team is actually from our modding community.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we actually, I mean, that's how we all started out.
Oh,
you know?
really? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started out, first thing I did was the Red Orchestra mod.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, it's funny, I know it sounds really cheesy, but when I was trying to get into the industry, you know, I didn't have any experience, and
That's usually what gets you.
I was like, you know, I'm gonna join some mods. I'm gonna, you know, get some actual hands-on experience. And then when I saw Red Orchestra, something told me it was my destiny to do it.
Yeah.
And I just went all in on it. And then
so
we were
cool.
working on it. And then that's when Epic announced the making something a real competition. I was like, that was reinforcement. I was like, because we had already been working on it for months, really hard, and I was already like, okay, this is
my
I already
passion.
treated it like it was my job, you know. And then when I found that, and then we ended up winning.
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Yeah, we won it, and then we started our studio in Atlanta, Georgia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were 4 people and on second floor of a church building.
I was person number 7.
And
That's so cool.
well, physically
yeah.
being there.
Yeah.
But Jared's been around with us for a while. But
Yeah, I was part of the Red Orchestra mod team as well. I was actually participated in several of the mods in the Unreal tournament, Make Something Unreal contest from the 2K3, 2K4 days. So, and we keep running into other people in the industry who were other contestants and members of mod teams, and we're like, oh, hey, I know who you are.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's nice that you can actually still, you still see them in the industry. And you're like, yes, we're still doing what we love to do even way back in the day.
Oh yeah, I mean, I always look back and just so thankful, you know. I mean,
So
to be
cool.
so blessed to do what you love, because so many people, like, their job is what you spend most of your life in, and if you don't do what you like, you know, so.
Understandable. And especially in this industry, I feel like even more so than your normal, typical 9 to 5.
Oh yeah, like you have to
You
live
have to
in.
love this.
Yeah.
All right, let me catch back up in chat. Apologies. Any plans for new medic weapons?
Oh yeah. Basically, we have a list of all new weapons, and we try to make sure that we're giving every perk attention. So yeah, there's
I'm about to die.
new medic weapon coming, maybe in the next update, possibly.
Very nice. Okay.
Is it the weapon I wanted, or is it a different one?
What weapon?
I wanted the cool weapon.
I
can't say it without giving it away.
I know.
You wanted that one.
Oh no, that's
Can I
that's-
talk about that weapon?
no.
Because that weapon's all.
No, I'm with you.
There's a cool
no,
medic weapon. It's not coming out anytime soon, apparently, because I'm not
Yeah.
awesome enough, and Bill doesn't love me that much.
Oh,
But it's on the list.
Oh, the
yeah.
gills.
No, you came up with that weapon.
I know.
I immediately put it on. See, that's what people don't
It's on
understand.
the
So,
list.
you know, like I was saying, everything's so staggered
Yes.
that, you know, like, you'll get it out. I mean, there's some ideas that we have written down, like, oh, I can't wait till we can use that.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, that won't fit into March 2019 or,
Crap, yeah.
you know, but, yeah, don't worry, your weapon, it's happening,
It's on
Jared.
the list.
Hey, Zane. He says hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'll do better this time.
Yep, to the stream statement of community joining the team. What are the chances of getting a summer treacherous skies ticket? I can't. I think that was a misspelling. Treacherous skies is what I assume it means.
What's the chance to get a summer?
Like, what's the drop rate, I guess?
Oh, the chances.
I do not know offhand.
Yeah, it's way higher. We have that number way
Okay.
higher. I wonder if other people feel like it's not high enough.
Well, if it's even higher than last year, like last year it felt like it took quite a grind to get tickets, which is why I didn't have too many,
I
fancy
believe
names.
it's probably the same amount. You felt it was too much of a grind?
I just don't have a lot of time personally.
Yeah.
But I know like some of our community members, like they have everything from last year. So I mean, they put that in the time. That's kind of on me in that aspect.
We could definitely up it a little bit more.
Well, I'll let the community decide that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the voice of that.
Well, I doubt they would say no. No, we don't want as many tickets.
video, we don't have as much. Perfect. Alien, we're getting people to spill all the secrets. Somebody says, "Hi, Bill. I've been sticking to this game for over 2,000 hours.
Wow.
And I think there will be many people wondering, like me, shall we have a hillbilly horror in 2018? Please, I'm looking forward to your answer." And it's just a copy-paste.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you. That is an honor that you've invested 2,000 hours of your life into something that we made. I guess I'll bend the rules a little bit here. So
A little bit.
it's not Halloween horror that we're bringing back.
Oh,
It's
okay.
something completely
It's something
new.
New.
Completely new.
Is it a take on something old? A new take on something old.
It could be something old and something new.
Nice.
A blend of
two.
a blend of monstrous things.
Was that supposed to rhyme?
I
That-
know.
That was way too much rhyming, and I'm
But,
kind of offended.
yeah,
that worked.
yeah. Hillbilly Horror was really cool, but the new one it's super cool. Like I think it's gonna be
you
one.
guys both seem really excited about.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of
that-
fun.
We've
October timeline.
actually been working on it since 2017.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay. Yeah.
it's been quite a while. So
It's been some time.
we'll just say it's
Labor
gonna be
of love.
it's gonna be a grand party. Hopefully that answered it. We'll keep some more stuff for surprises down the road.
Somebody asked if you can please raise the drop ticket rate.
What's that?
The drop rate for tickets.
They want it higher.
Yeah.
I can.
You know a guy.
I know a guy. I'll put a note in.
Where is the floor's lava mode?
I've been wanting that for our weekly challenges for a while. I also want friendly fire on. When are we getting friendly fire, Bill?
Friendly. Do people
Friendly
really
fire.
want friendly
Some
fire?
people do.
It should be
So,
optional.
well, you know what's funny? So when we were first developing Killing Floor 1, we had friendly fire on because we've always been a
I
more
remember.
hardcore, type of company. And Alan Wilson, which I'm sure a lot of our fans know who is.
No
every
friendly
time
fire.
we
I
would,
want it gone forever.
every time we played,
Yeah.
I would be with Alan. He would turn around, and he'd think I was his head, and shoot me every time. He was only killing me. It was the most infuriating thing I ever experienced.
You can't be angry
'Cause-
though.
Well, no, I was definitely getting angry. I was like, Alan, what the hell, man? You're like, dude, you're only killing me. And yeah, I mean, isn't
Maybe
it?
he was doing it on
It's a
purpose.
server-side option. that
It is a
people-
server-side option, but it isn't really made readily apparent.
Okay.
You have to go in and edit a config, and it isn't available on consoles. So it is something that does come up a bit.
All right,
I won't
how
say
about
it's.
this?
I won't say it's the driving #1 for
Right.
any request.
Let's-
it isn't, but
let's
it's on
make
the
a-
list.
Let's make a poll.
All right.
Well, here's one thing. If we did do that, I would definitely want to make sure I don't accidentally jump into a game that has
Yes.
Yeah.
it. Because
You want to know
only
for
the
sure.
Yeah.
most elite players
And
could
there's
handle.
there's some
Yeah.
really good ones out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it,
Like,
would it
it's
would change
impressive.
how people play the game. You can't just mag dump at
Oh, no,
the
no.
enemies surrounding your
Oh,
friend.
it'd be so dangerous. Yeah. If anyone friendly fire Hell on Earth could make it through,
That should
would-
be like a
that would be amazing.
customization, like a skin or an outfit or
Oh
something.
yeah.
That
you
would be
des-
amazing.
You would deserve
And those
that.
people exist.
I believe it. I've seen somebody do Hell on Earth with only a pistol. I'm like, who are you? Like, didn't even, the starter pistol.
Wow.
Alan is pretty good at taking advantage of easy kills.
That's
Alan's-
true.
If you really want
Classic
to,
Alan move.
yes. If you really want to die to Alan, play Rising Storm 2 and let him be the commander on the other team, or even on your team. You will die.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yes.
Any,
There will be death.
any possibility of having rewards which feel like a true grind into the game, and actually only a few people will have, because the current state of getting the seasonal objective is way too easy and feels like you can complete it in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, so
Is my new
actually that is something that I definitely agree can definitely be better. I mean, we want to make it so people can easily get that achievement, but in our next event, this person will be happy, and we'll see if other people are less happy. But
welcome
in the next event, it will be more challenging. There will be a lot more things that you need to do.
Oh crap! Okay.
To actually get, and the reward will be more enticing as well.
Yes, but you can use this painting
So
to imagine my
somebody says, do you have an extreme mode? There's Hell on Earth.
Yeah,
Don't know
Hell on
if
Earth's pretty damn extreme.
Played that. It's
We actually just increased the difficulty on Hell on Earth in this update because our dedicated Hell on Earth community let us know that they thought it was becoming too easy. So we made some adjustments, and we're watching their feedback and want to see, is it still too easy?
I'm trying to get all the achievements. That's not helping me.
Nip it all in the bud.
Are you guys thinking of adding more incentives to prestiging? I personally would like to see interchangeable knives so I can show off the skin that I have with a favorite knife.
Well, I mean, right now the knives themselves go with the your actual perk.
Like building a system to do that would actually, it's not as easy as you might think. And as Bill said, our resources are so staged and staggered right now. To build right now, we put more of a focus on getting new gameplay elements in than something like that. But if it's something players would really like to see, we can look at adding that to the list.
Yeah. Now, originally we did do a survey back in the day about prestige resetting because we had a design where you actually got, when you did prestige reset, you actually got some new like skills and perks that would grow.
Okay.
But it was really super divided.
It was a razor thin margin on which way it would go,
which really surprised me because
okay.
I actually really wanted to.
You wanted to push that button.
I wanted to have some more skills, some things that you could do. Nothing that would be like crazy drastic. And
No, but it's quality of life almost in that sense.
Yeah, like just adds like a little extra. But a lot of our really hardcore fans, they didn't want it, so I was like, okay, well, let's not do that. So
okay. Will there ever be getting new starter weapons, maybe swapping out the 9mm pistols or tier 1 weapons? Also, are we ever going to get a fully auto varmint rifle? I've seen this question on Reddit a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, right now the starter weapons are really, it's all tied to your actual like perk that you're playing. This is a really cool concept that we're looking into. Would definitely be anywhere soon.
Okay. Future.
The 9mm request has been something that's been floated for a while, and we're definitely taking a look at some options moving forward. So once again, we're not promising anything right now, but there are some things we are looking at around that because we know players want to be able to either not have it or do something else with it. So it's something we're considering.
Okay. Anything you guys want to make sure that we go over that we haven't talked about here today?
I mean, I guess the biggest thing is, we this year we have 4 major updates. First one we did in March.
Yep.
We've got this one that just dropped, and we've got 2 more big ones.
One of which is totally not an event around Halloween, but you shouldn't be excited because it won't be awesome.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be back to back. Really big, awesome thing for Halloween, and then an additional thing for Christmas. And
very nice.
We're also, like I said, we're working on 2019 content. So. The game's not going anywhere. We're just constantly adding more and more stuff, and we just want to thank the community and all the fans and people that play it because we couldn't be making the game if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, and if you want to let us know your feedback, because as Bill said, we are definitely continuing to work on new things. We're also looking at some of that existing stuff and going back and iterating on it, and we're keeping an eye on all that feedback, so keep it coming.
So, do you have time for about 3 or 4 more questions?
Sure. Only one.
Only one.
I think
he's
kidding.
All right. Fine, we'll take them all.
I lied. We're doing 5.
Okay.
Are there new Zeds?
Only 7 now. I'll only answer 1 if there's 7 questions.
Okay. Are there new Zeds getting new sounds like the other updates?
Do you mean like if we do another event, or they're going to get
part of the seasonals?
I assume the seasonals. Do they get they did last year?
Yeah.
So I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, we always try to we try to pick the ones that are going to have the most impact and be noticeable, depending on like what we change the character into.
Got it.
Like for Summer Sideshow with the siren, it's the bearded lady.
Yes.
So we have like that just made sense. But depending on what the actual character is, there might not get a lot of bang for that.
Yeah, like the new Edars They're mechanical robots, and our player base has only really seen the Summer Sideshow Edars at this point.
Okay.
So, but once they are not the Summer Sideshow Edars, they're still Edars, and they're essentially the same type of creature.
Okay.
But there is a good chance that in the future, if they are not that, then they'll get a sound pass as part of that update.
Oh, very nice. So a little hint to the future. Hi, Bill. I know Killing Floor 2 since early 2016 when the game was in beta stage and only had a few perks to play. I remembered when we tried to wield the door against the Flesh Pound and the Flesh Pound knocked it down and our jaw dropped in awe. And seconds later we started running screaming. He kicked the effing door off and kicked it off. Since then I took a liking to the game's physics. I hope that someday you can put more physics into the game. Maybe underwater or zero G combat. It's a tongue twister.
that would definitely be fun.
We played around with some zero G combat in KF1, and it's one of the places I hope we return to. That's all I'm gonna say.
Last question.
The moon-based map, KF1.
Can we get a DAR, I assume it's the DAR,
Yep.
rework for the voice as it is nothing like it is from KF1. It is my favorite character, as you can see by my name, Darbot. Currently it is recycled voices from the other character, and having it have the same or close to KF1 DAR would be much better and make it the #1 DAR fan much happier. The way it was handled in KF2 left me extremely disappointed.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry you felt that way. I mean, we actually really wanted to keep it very similar to the KF1, and we went that route because with the using different characters' voices, because we thought that would actually be interesting. In KF1, oddly enough, when we did just the beeps and boops, we did that because of memory constraints. We couldn't actually add characters with the full voices.
Okay.
So that was actually a way for us to do
Cheese around it.
way
Yeah,
less.
we had 2 character voices, 3 if you had a lot of memory and we could detect it, which wasn't always the case. We had male voice 1, male voice 2, and female voice 1. And then as we added female voice 1, we actually dropped male voice 2 if you had less memory.
Got it.
But as we added some of these later characters like Reggie the Rocker and Dar, we didn't have the memory to actually give them voices, so that's why they have very cut down voice lines and very compacted what they could say. So that was actually due to limitations more than anything else, but we know it's something that players sort of loved at the same time, so it's kind of funny how that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, unfortunately, I'm sorry you're really disappointed. It would be really hard to put additional resources, because then that would take away of another new thing. But if a new Killing Floor ever happened, I'll make sure to make you not disappointed.
Any comments on the removal of reload canceling?
Sure, I'll address that since I know quite a bit about it. Reload canceling was never an intended feature. It was something that we were mostly fine with it existing over time, barring the right to reserve to revisit it, which we obviously have done currently. What it had become, it was becoming pretty much a clutch among many players due to how it exploited the reload mechanic and allowed players to bypass a lot of things. And just watching a lot of player videos more recently, it was completely negating balance mechanics that are in the weapons to make them balanced and make some perks balanced, and there was no way for us to really balance around that anymore, because there were even some mechanics and exploits that we weren't fully aware of, that we had only recently started to see in some of these videos.
Okay.
So we came down and we addressed it. We know there are players that liked it. We know pretty much why you liked it. It allowed you, if you pulled it off right, feel skilled, like you had an impact. But at the same time, it wasn't too skillful to pull off. We would like to revisit that in the future and add a more legit mechanic to allow something like that. That isn't a promise that one will appear. But that is the reason why it was addressed, and that is sort of our reasoning behind it. It's something we are keeping an eye on. As I said, we do have thoughts about what we can do to try and have something else that fills that role without being so exploitive.
Got it.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole reasoning of us even fixing it is we thought that was actually causing a lot of negative experience for a lot of players. They weren't wanting that. So we were surprised that there was a backlash for us fixing that exploit.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, there actually were groups of players out there who said, hey, when are you guys ever going to get around to fixing this? So it helped push it up our list a little bit.
That was the whole reason why we actually did do that,
Oh,
is
okay.
because we were hearing, hey, why are you guys
What's
not fixing
going on?
this?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're keeping our eyes on it, and if there's anything, that we can do in the future to, fix the exploit, but still have those mechanics that people liked, we're going to try to add some of that stuff in there.
Will Jared ever have stopped being so cheeky?
No.
Not anytime soon.
Fair. Any update on the crawlers being able to travel on walls?
That is unlikely to happen in Killing Floor 2. It is something that we tried to get in very early on in its life cycle, and we prototyped in at least one, possibly 2 ways, and technical limitations just kept it from happening, so it sort of got put on hold indefinitely, and that's where it currently still sits. If we do ever find a novel solution, I'm sure we'll get it in there as quick as we can, because it's something we'd love to see. But as we started to art past maps early on in KF's life, it became apparent that it was causing AI pathing issues and all sorts of things, where the game just stopped working.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's not a fun experience.
Yeah, big problem too now is whatever solution, if we were to get that to work, it would need to work in everything that already exists.
Oh, and
So-
going back
and
and
we-
trying to
trying to
fix
Trying
that.
to go back and retrofit along with all the modded maps as well.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I know some of the modders, we do occasionally break their stuff when we do updates, and we are trying to get this is a promise for me, I have a task to get documentation on some of the changes that were in this update out to you. I haven't had a chance to get it out there yet.
Well, you've been
I
at
know
E3.
I have been at here, but I have seen somebody was trying to get me that documentation so I can get it out to you guys, so hopefully it's coming. But we don't like breaking people's mods. We want it to just work, but sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes we do have to break things. But in a thing like this, it would essentially, it might go back and break every map in existence, and that would be bad.
Let's do. We've kind of answered those.
Oh, the berserker. I see one about berserker
Yeah.
parry. Yeah, that's one area I want to definitely look at, man. Man or woman, to fix, because we don't want it to be sluggish. So that was one of the areas that I think there needs to be improvement on.
Cool. I know we're a little over your time. Anything else you guys want to talk about or mention before we go? We covered the 4 big content updates this year. One's already happened, one's currently happening right now, the Summer Sideshow. One sometime, I hear October's a thing, and then, the Christmas is...
If you don't already own Killing Floor and you're tuned in, it's available for Steam right now as a free weekend. I believe it just kicked off today.
Free weekend.
And
check it out and
for
download.
people who are console players,
And
stay
it's
tuned.
60% off.
Yes, and for console players, stay tuned, because something similar may be coming your way soon.
Very nice. And you said it's also 60% off if you do like it, you play it this weekend with your friends.
Yep.
60% off on Steam.
Yep.
Console, stay tuned.
Stay tuned, but soon.
Okay. Soon, TM.
Soon.
Yes. Like the following weekend.
Like the following weekend. I didn't know if I was allowed to say that.
No, I mean, we want people to check it out. So, yeah, it's next
coming.
weekend.
Next weekend.
That's going to be on both consoles, so if you have console friends, tell them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We hope to be playing with you guys maybe from the studio very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the goals, is to try and move our weekly streams into the studio, as well as to be able to do more interviews with the devs, like pulling Bill and some of the other designers, and like, hey, our community has some burning questions. Let's sit down with the people who made those answers and get them answered.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. Love having you guys on always.
Thank you for having us. It's always fun.
See you guys.
All right, guys. Give us just a minute. We're going to go into a
Internet.
quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.